I've checked into some absurd hotel rooms in my time, rooms with butlers, rooms with private pools, rooms where the towels somehow cost more than my first car. And every single time I thought, surely this is the top. Surely it doesn't get more expensive than this. And every single time I was wrong, because somewhere out there is a hotel suite that costs $100,000 for one night. No, you can't keep the keys. And the strangest part, even at that price, there's a real fight over which suite is actually the most expensive on the planet. So I went looking for the answer, and what I found was a ladder of rooms so outrageous that by the time we reach the top, that $100,000 price tag is going to feel almost reasonable. Almost. Let me show you. Let's start at the bottom of the top, which on this list still means a sum of money that could buy a house. 16 feet beneath the Indian Ocean, at the Conrad Maldives Rangali Island, sits a suite called the Muraka. The word means coral in the local language, and it earns its name because the master bedroom sits underwater, wrapped in a curved acrylic shell, with reef sharks and rays gliding over your head while you sleep. When it opened in 2018, it was billed as the world's first underwater residence. The price depends on the season and the package, but it starts at around $18,000 a night and climbs past $40,000 in peak season. And that's before the mandatory seaplane just to reach the island. You get a private butler, your own infinity pool above the water, an ocean-facing villa up top, and a bedroom below the waves that genuinely feels like sleeping inside an aquarium. The pianist Lang Lang spent his honeymoon here. To put that opening price in perspective, $18,000 is roughly what an average American earns in 4 months. And here, it buys you a single sunrise underwater. And yet, believe it or not, this is the cheap seat. We're only getting started. Now let's go from underwater to a real palace. In Jaipur, India, there is a hotel called the Raj Palace. And it isn't a hotel pretending to be a palace. It's an actual 18th century royal residence built in 1727 that's been welcoming guests as Indian royalty for centuries. And inside it is the Shahi Mahal Suite, which has been billed at around $45,000 a night. For that, you get something almost impossible to find in the modern luxury world: space. We're talking a suite that sprawls across a reported 35,000 square feet, which is larger than most museums. There are 6 bedrooms, furniture trimmed in ivory and gold, a private theatre, a private library, and a dining room fit for a Maharaja, because it once was for one. The whole place is dressed in Mughal Rajputana craftsmanship, the kind of hand-painted gold-leafed detail that simply can't be reproduced today at any price. This is old money opulence, the kind that took 3 centuries to assemble. 35,000 square feet, by the way, is bigger than the average British supermarket, and they're charging you $45,000 to have it all to yourself for one night. And the next one is the exact opposite, because it sits 52 floors above one of the most expensive skylines on Earth. Welcome to Manhattan. At the Four Seasons Hotel New York on the 52nd floor, you'll find the Ty Warner Penthouse, and at $50,000 a night, it reopened in late 2024 as the most expensive room in the entire city. This one has a story. It was designed over roughly 7 years by the legendary architect I.M. Pei, the man behind the Louvre Pyramid, together with the billionaire hotel owner Ty Warner, and the build reportedly cost around $50 million. $50 million for a single suite. To build it, they reportedly combined several of the hotel's existing rooms into one floating mansion in the sky. It spans 4,300 square feet, wraps you in 360-degree views of Manhattan, and hangs 4 glass balconies off the side of the tower, said to be the highest outdoor perches in New York City. Inside, there's a Zen room with its own waterfall, a spa room with an infinity soaking tub, and a library that climbs to a 26-foot cathedral ceiling around a Bosendorfer grand piano. 3 private elevators carry you up. A personal butler, a chauffeur, a personal trainer, and a Michelin-starred chef are all on call. It is, by any normal measure, the top of the mountain. And we are still not at the top of the mountain. Before we climb the last 2 steps, let me take you to the water one more time, to Greece. On a private peninsula south of Athens sits the grand resort Lagonisi, and its crown jewel is the Royal Villa, which has been quoted at around $50,000 a night. This one trades skyscraper views for total seclusion. You get 3 bedrooms, 2 private pools, 1 indoors and 1 heated outside, a private stretch of beach, a steam room and a fireplace. But the detail I love most is the staff. The villa famously comes with its own butler, a private chef and a personal pianist. So the soundtrack of your stay is played live by a real human being, just for you. Heads of state and Hollywood royalty have hidden away here for exactly that reason. It's the most expensive way in Europe to simply disappear. Which brings us, finally, to the suite that for years has worn the crown. In Geneva, Switzerland, on the shore of Lake Geneva and just steps from the United Nations, stands the Hotel President Wilson. And on its 8th floor is the Royal Penthouse Suite, the room most travel guides have crowned year after year as the most expensive hotel suite in the world. At its peak, it's been billed around $80,000 a night. The suite takes up the entire top floor of the hotel, all 12 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms of it, spread across roughly 18,000 square feet, making it one of the largest hotel suites on the planet. But size isn't really the point here. Security is. The windows are bulletproof, there's a reinforced safe room built into the suite, and a private security room because the people who book this place are presidents, kings, and the kind of billionaire who travels with a detail. A private elevator is the only way up, and once you're inside, the toys are staggering. A Brunswick billiards table, a Steinway grand piano, a Bang & Olufsen sound system, a rare book library, a private gym, a salon, a cocktail lounge, and a 103-inch television that was reportedly one of only 3 of its kind ever placed in a hotel room. Step outside, and an 18,000 square foot terrace wraps around you, with a sweeping view of the lake, the city, and Mont Blanc beyond. There's even helipad access, in case the private elevator feels too pedestrian. For years, this was the answer. The most expensive hotel suite in the world. Case closed. Except it isn't closed. Because here's the twist I promised you. While Geneva was quietly wearing the crown, a casino in Las Vegas built something specifically designed to take it. And it carries the single highest sticker price of them all. On top of the Palms Casino Resort, just off the Las Vegas Strip, sits the Empathy Suite. And the rate is $100,000 a night, with a 2-night minimum, which means the cheapest possible stay is $200,000. What makes this suite genuinely different is who designed it. Not an architect, an artist. The British art world superstar Damien Hirst, whose individual works sell for millions, designed the entire 2-floor, 9,000 square foot suite as a living gallery of his own pieces. There are 6 original Hirst artworks built into the rooms, including his signature, real sharks suspended in formaldehyde, mounted right above the bar, plus a butterfly motif room and a wall of his famous medicine cabinet pieces. The art alone is reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars. And then there's the architecture. A cantilevered glass-bottomed pool and a private gym jut straight out over the edge of the building, so you're working out and swimming while suspended above Las Vegas. Inside there are 2 master suites, a private salt relaxation room, a cinema, a fitness room, and a curved bar facing those sharks. Your stay includes a butler around the clock, a chauffeured car, a private art tour, and a $10,000 resort credit thrown in almost as an afterthought. So that settles it, right? Highest price, $100,000, the Empathy Suite is the most expensive hotel suite in the world. Now take a breath and think about that number for a second. $100,000 a night. That is more than the price of a brand new luxury car spent on a single sleep. Stay a week and you've spent $700,000, enough to buy an actual house in most of the country. And at the end of it, you check out with nothing but the photos. Well, here's where it gets interesting, and here's the honest answer to the question I set out to solve. Because what does most expensive even mean? If you go purely by the published nightly rate, the Empathy Suite wins, full stop, at $100,000 a night. But there's a catch that the headlines tend to skip. The Palms openly markets that suite as comped, given away for free, to its highest rolling casino gamblers, the ones with $1 million line of credit. It's less a hotel room you book and more a velvet rope for whales. The Royal Penthouse in Geneva, on the other hand, is the one that actual travel authorities have named, year after year, as the world's most expensive suite you can genuinely reserve. And it's hosted real presidents and royalty doing exactly that. So the truth is, the crown is split. The Empathy Suite holds the highest price tag ever printed on a hotel room. The Royal Penthouse Suite holds the title for the most expensive suite the world keeps actually crowning. Two different kings of the same hill. And honestly, after going all the way up this ladder, that's the part that stuck with me. We started 16 feet underwater at $18,000 a night, and we climbed all the way to $100,000 a night above a casino, and at no point did the price stop making a strange kind of sense to the people paying it. Because at this level, you're not really buying a bed. You're buying a story, a view, bulletproof glass, a private pianist, a shark over your shoulder. You're buying one night that almost nobody else on Earth will ever have. So here's my question for you. Of every suite we just toured, the underwater bedroom, the Indian Palace, the Manhattan Penthouse, the Greek Hideaway, the Geneva Fortress, or the Vegas Gallery, which one would you actually book if money meant nothing? Tell me down in the comments, I genuinely want to know. And if you enjoyed peeking behind this particular velvet rope, stick around, because there's a whole world of the absurdly expensive still left to explore.